Let's queer up out South Florida. South Florida LGBTQ plus stunned as Smart Ride announces end. I first broke this news Saturday on social media, and in this week's Out South Florida on Stands Thursday and online now, I have extensive coverage of how the sudden decision is reverberating through our community. First, what happened? I go beyond the surprise announcement and look at what founder Glenn Weinzimmer and new executive director Todd Delmay said about the ride's future back in January and compare it to what they're saying now. Also, thousands of riders, crew, volunteers, and organizers have formed their own special community over the years. Now, they're redoubling their efforts, literally, for one last ride. I look at how the change impacts many groups, including SAVE, Can Health, and the Dolphin Democrats. And how will benefiting agencies cover the loss of hundreds of thousands of dollars? I have this developing story from every angle now at Out SFL online, and it'll be on Stands tomorrow. Also, follow me on Instagram at John Hayden Journalist for breaking news and reports from South Florida's events. And I'll tell you, I consider myself pretty well connected in the town, and this absolutely floored you,
right?
I was getting ready to go out with Al for a Saturday afternoon happy hour, and we still did, but it was delayed because I was making a ton of calls, and it just, like, so many people have come up to me in the last 4 days and been like, what happened? And I really feel like we've got a good feel for it, but what we don't know yet is what changed. Something changed when, in January, when they said, or Todd Delmay specifically said, we're going to make sure sustainability is the key goal. It's the lifeblood of keeping this organization alive. This week, he was telling me sustainability is important, but one of the things they've been dealing with for several rides now is people aging out. There are 8 people who have been with this all 20 years that are doing the 20th ride and were there for ride 1. But the crews aren't getting much older, or aren't getting much younger. Volunteers aren't getting much younger, and it is a year-long event. The ride is a Friday, Saturday. You drive back to the mainland on Sunday, and the crew starts putting it together that next Monday, the next year's ride. So it's a big undertaking. But boy, there are so many holes that are left in this community because of it.
Well, and John, okay, so you said anything else that you said that is a big difference from January to now? Again, it's 8 months. A lot can happen in 8 months, you know. But what else was said in January that now is completely different? I know it'll be in your story online.
Right. Well, no, but that's a great question because Todd said, you know, I don't want a 9-to-5 job because I want to run for office again someday. He ran last year and didn't make it out of the primary, but he wants to go again. And SAVE, the job he's going to, is a very political organization. Right. So it's a good fit for him. But he said, I don't want a 9-to-5 job, and the flexibility that Smart Ride gives me fits in perfectly with my future plans. Now, he's taking, he's not even taking a 9-to-5 job. SAVE is an 8-to-8 job going into
9 days a week.
Going into an election. But he did say he's not going to run this cycle. So he's at SAVE at least through next year. So there's so he's focused on that. But what something, my gut tells me something happened where they started to go, maybe not. But we don't know.
Scott, you're the other politician. You're the politician at the table. Right, okay? Like what happened when you read this story? What did you think about it?
Do you think SAVE demanded or asked that he step down from Smart Ride if he wanted their job?
I have no indication that happened. It is possible, but everything that I've been told, and from multiple people, and I believe this, that Todd really thought he could do both. Right. I thought he could do both, but they're both very demanding jobs. And the board at Smart Ride marinated on it for a couple weeks, tried to figure out solutions, and they said there were other possible ways, but it's just too much for one person to do, and they didn't want to give it to somebody who was just coming in, doesn't know the organization, and go forward with a lesser version of this iconic legacy event that has touched literally tens of thousands of people over 20 years.
And there was no way of getting Glenn Weinzimmer to come back for a couple more years until something else happened.
Glenn's tired, and rightly so. And Glenn, we love you. I love you. But he also runs a restaurant, a very popular restaurant that's busy most nights of the week, Bona Italian.
He's also a businessman and also has another job.
Yeah, he has another job. In fact, he's down in Miami for 3 days this week on non-Smart Ride stuff because, life. And he's tired.
Yeah.
He's been living with HIV for 30 years. And 10 years after his diagnosis, he's founded what became the Smart Ride. He is a hero and an icon for our community. And he has deserved a chance to go to Key West without having to take care of thousands of other people along the way.
Yeah.
No doubt he deserves it. My take is absolutely that Save made the condition that if Todd was going to have that job, he had to step away from everything.
Look at and that rightfully so. I mean, think about, okay, we're going into a crazy year next year, you know, like he's needed.
Right.
He is also stepping down. He's president of Dolphin Democrats since February. He is stepping down at
My Hollywood. Isn't he part of My Hollywood also?
He is on the Hollywood LGBTQ plus council, and I want to say head of, but I'm not 100% of My Hollywood Pride. He is going to finish his term on the council through December, and he will stay on My Hollywood Pride through the event in mid-January. So he's staying with those, but he's leaving the Dolphin Democrats. Oh, and I do have a good interview this week with the new president of the Dolphin Democrats. She's a bisexual Asian queer woman.
Love it.
And she's very personable. I can't wait to meet her in person. But, you know, there's a lot to do. And you can say, well, she's only in office for 4 months, 5 months till she has to run for a new term. But these next 4 months are crucial for Democrats in Florida, especially LGBTQ ones. You know what I'm talking about. Now is when we're doing our grassroots.
Yeah.
Now is when we need to get ready. This November is when we get ready for next November. So she has a huge job and responsibility on her plate. So good luck to her.
And I bet you she's ready for it.
Yeah,
and we can't wait to hear all about it. Mark?
I think I do understand what happened here, but I just don't understand, frankly, what didn't happen as far as not having any kind of succession plan, whether there would be some mentoring of new leaders along the way that would take the place. Without exception, every single biker and cyclist that I know in the queer community are some of the most active fundraisers. They're always on a ride, working a charity, doing something like this. This leaves millions out there on the table, and I think creates a vacuum, also a great opportunity, because we need to take advantage of that energy, that activism, and make sure it goes somewhere and doesn't start to go to charities and causes that are too outside of our community and dilute that good that those folks have been doing.
But this is all at the beginning stages, okay? We're, speculating on a lot, that we've heard. Until we find out more information, of course, we'll bring it to you folks at home, and we wish everybody well that's involved. I know that these are powerful folks that do a lot for our community, and I think we're in good hands, so.